Hello and welcome to the Trust Factor Podcast, the only podcast that guarantees your success when you implement its divine age-old teachings. Good morning, everybody. We're back at home base, back from an amazing 3-week trip in the holiest place on planet Earth, the land of Israel, the only Jewish nation in the world. And it was mostly a reminder of why we need that, why we need to have a place that we can call home. It's a place where you can get off the plane and really feel like you're at home, that you're amongst family. There's no other place in the world that a Jew can go to, get off a plane and feel like they are literally meeting and greeting their brothers and sisters. At the airport, as soon as you get off the plane, you're interacting with your brothers and sisters. It's a challenging place to live. It's a challenging place to operate for many reasons, not the least of which is the fact that we've been surrounded by people who are committed to destroying us. And they have been that way for generations. This phenomenon that you see today and that you hear about by influencers in the media and social media, where you see people are flipping, you see people are losing their minds. It's no longer just certain religions or sects that are coming after the Jews and trying to shut them down. It's coming from everywhere, my friends. It's not just one group. It's coming from the major world religions are hyper-focusing their attention on this tiny little nation that has to tell you something. It has to tell you a lot. That when you have a tiny little minuscule nation of 15 million people in a world of 8 billion, we're not even a blip. We're not even a dot. We don't even show up on the radar. We're not there. At least we shouldn't be. People should not be taking note of us. And yet, that's all they can talk about every day, all day, on all news channels, by every individual on the planet, just talking about Israel and the nation of the Jews. Even if you tried, you couldn't make an excuse for it. It just defies all logic. And that claim can be made for the Jewish nation in whole, that we defy logic. We've been here for so long, and generation after generation, empire after empire, world superpowers in every generation have come to destroy the Jewish nation, and they cannot. Some have made a lot of progress in their genocidal attempts to destroy the Jewish nation, but we will always rise out of the ashes bigger, better, and stronger. Why? Because we have the creator of the universe at our back. We have he who controls all of humanity and beyond at our back. He chose us, and we chose him to be his emissaries, to be able to spread this beautiful Torah. You see what I'm spreading. You hear the information that's coming across here. There is nothing negative that comes out of this. It is all designed to uplift humanity. It is all designed to put you on a path of success, to put you on a path of godliness, to be able to teach you how to do and what to do, the things that you should be focusing on in order to make this world a utopia. That's what he wants. It's not that he put us on a pedestal to make us better than the rest of humanity. On the contrary, he gave us so much more responsibility that comes with consequence, reward and punishment. Remember, positive and negative consequences. Everybody else has the 7 Noahide laws. What does that mean? That means that your potential for success is that much easier than ours. Your potential to have to suffer the consequences of your negative actions is that much less than the Jewish nation. The Jewish nation was given a tremendous amount of responsibility. We don't have 7 Noahide laws. We have 613 commandments. That means we have that much more opportunity, almost 10 times more, to be able to fail and suffer the consequences of our failures. At the same time, we also have 10 times more opportunity to benefit if we do it right. If we take the mantle and we actually run with it and we get the results that we're after, then we have that much more potential to enjoy the success, the fruits of our labor. And so that's what we're doing. That's what the Jewish nation is charged with. Sharing the information that I'm sharing. Being a light unto the nations. That's what I'm doing here. And you guys are benefiting from it. And all we're asking for is a small sliver of land to be able to say, look at them as an example of what we should do. And really, if you look at the Jewish nation, if you look at our accomplishments and our achievements, whether it's in philosophy, whether it's in technology, whether it's in medical and biosciences, whether it's in mathematics, whatever it is, All one needs to do is look at the Nobel Prize laureates. Look and see. The math doesn't make sense, and it never has. For a nation to occupy such a small sliver of the world's population, less than 0.2%, and yet still have achieved such greatness and recognition in terms of Nobel Prizes, my friends, it just doesn't make sense. It is supernatural. That's the only explanation. The fact that the Jewish nation still exists in that sliver of land, surrounded by its sworn enemies, generation after generation, who have outnumbered them, out-financed them, out-militarized them for generations. They could have easily done away with us, and yet they were not able to. And we have seen in every war, in every generation, not just modern, going back thousands of years, miracle after miracle, open miracle after open miracle, designed to allow the Jewish nation to survive and to prosper and to do its job. And as long as we keep doing our job, as long as we continue to be successful in doing what we were brought here to do, then we will continue to achieve greatness. And my argument is that we have been too assimilated. We have tried to be too much like the other nations, obfuscating our responsibility of being a light unto the nations. It's time to get back to doing what we need to do. Even if it means taking time out of your day like I'm doing over here to share this message, to be able to share God's Torah, His wisdom, the wisdom that really matters, not the temporary, futile ridiculousness that society pushes upon you, that is all cloaked in lies and deceit. This is the truth, my friends. Grab on tight. Let's get into this again. We're giving 5 reasons why an individual will not try to establish a relationship with his Creator and build this thing called emunah, faith. We talked about the first 3. We're going to cover off the next 2. Number 1, if somebody has doubt that God loves each and every one of us and desires to help us, especially those who turn to Him and speak to Him. That's number 4. In other words, if you don't know that the more you turn and speak to God, the more He loves that relationship, then you'll never do it. But if you know that the more I speak to Him, the more I use my words or a proper siddur and pray, or a combination, which is the best, right? Using that structured prayer that we said the other day. And in that structured prayer, taking the time to put in your own personal words, thoughts, and ideas, the more you do that, the more He loves you. And the more He wants you to continue to do that, and the more He will do for you in order for you to continue to see His hand. If you don't know that, you'll never get started. You'll never get off the ground. But the more you do it, the more you see His hand as a response, the more you'll want to do that. Now, how does it make any sense? How do you know I'm not just selling you a faulty bill of goods? How do you know I'm just not making some random claims over here that make you feel good? Let me explain this to you. In the Torah, strewn throughout the Torah, you will find many, many examples of where God, in His infinite wisdom, uses the analogy of a parent and a child. Mother, father, child. He being the mother or the father, and obviously we are the children. And there's a reason for that. Nothing is coincidence. You've heard that from me. There's no such thing as coincidence. And the reason He uses that analogy is many reasons, but primarily to establish for us the foundation of our relationship. He wants to show us how a real positive relationship with our Creator is supposed to look. Very similar to a healthy relationship of a parent and a child, where He knows everything and comes to teach and provide us with all of the things that we need to be able to thrive in this world. And we are here to receive. A child does nothing for a parent. A child cannot do anything for a parent that a parent can't do for himself. So a child's sole responsibility until they become independent is to receive from their parents. Food, shelter, clothing, education, money, opportunity, all that comes from the parent. The child just sits and receives. It's the same thing. So God is saying to you here, look, think about it. If you've got 5 children, okay, and 3 of those children are always appearing at your door, always coming to see how you're doing, always coming to acknowledge you and to praise the upbringing that you gave them and to thank you for it and to show you their thanks and appreciation by being there and offering to do things or whatever it may be, however they show their appreciation, right? Or they're calling you on a regular basis, inquiring, seeing how you're doing. They actually care. They're reciprocating. They're trying. They'll never be able to, but they're at least trying to reciprocate with the understanding that you're the one who gave them life. You're the reason why they exist today. So really, they'd never be able to make up for that. But the point being, if 3 of your children are doing that on a regular basis and 2 of them are not, Who are you closest to? Who are you connected more to? Who are you more emotionally, intellectually connected to? Where is that bond strongest? Obviously, the three who come on a regular basis, those three will build a relationship with you that the other two are completely missing out on and will never be able to make up for. Same thing applies here. When you get that knowledge, when it's understood by you, that the more I reciprocate, I say thank you, I acknowledge, I appreciate what he's doing for me, he continues to do more for me, and our relationship continues to flourish. Have an amazing day, my friends. Thank you for spending time with us on the Trust Factor podcast. If you've heard something today that moved you, save this episode and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming conversations that challenge, empower, and uplift. And if you're on social media, connect with us. Leave your thoughts. Drop a quote that resonated with you. Hashtag the Trust Factor podcast. Until next time, keep growing in your trust and keep living with purpose. I'm Jesse Revivo, and this has been the Trust Factor Podcast. Thanks for listening.